What's good, you guys? I hope you're doing so lovely today. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Morgan, and this is Portraits, where we focus on auras and I paint portraits of them. And if you're returning, welcome back. So happy to have you back as always. I am so excited to finally announce to you guys that I have finished all of the personal readings that I needed to do, and I'm back into pick a card readings for the collective. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I cannot thank you guys enough. Everybody that ordered a reading and everybody that's been supporting me just throughout this journey. Like, I've had so much fun reading your guys' energy and learning more about everybody that follows me and supports me. It's just been so magical, and being able to connect with you guys in this way is amazing. Like, I've met so many amazing people, and I'm just for one, I'm such a baby. Two, I'm so grateful. Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. But I truly just want to say thank you. And I'm really glad that I got to meet so many of you. So we're just going to be reading the energy of the collective right now. What you're going to be doing is picking a pile out of the 4 that I'm going to give you. Pick whichever one that you feel most called to. These are going to be pictures of clouds. And if you're new to this, that's totally fine. What you're going to be doing is picking a pile and then going down to the description as well as in the comments, and there will be a timestamp listed for each pile. Go to the one that you feel the most drawn to. Feel free to watch more than one. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And I'll be reading the energy of each pile and also drawing out the aura that I kind of feel, and whatever messages come through there, I'll be sure to share them. And I'll also be pulling cards for each pile as well. So it's going to be really fun, and I'm very excited to jump right into this. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. I'm very excited to announce to you guys this tool that I have personally created for my own form of divination, and I'm excited to start using it here on this channel. I've been struggling to actually come up with this final product for so long now. Also, ignore my nails. So sorry. I promise they weren't done by a 4-year-old crackhead with Parkinson's. Anyway, I've been trying to figure out the best method for this tool, and I finally came up with a version that I think works the best and fits the best, feels the best, and it just works for me. And I really love it because it's my own idea, and you know, I made it myself. And it's not the prettiest right now. I mean, this is the first time I'm using it, and I definitely do want to add some flair to it. Let me explain how it's going to work. So basically, I have 6 categories here, and these are all magnets. Each magnet is listed with its own word, and those words are obsession, awareness, growth, balance, fear, and resistance. But I also have these little pieces, and they have little bolts in them. And then I've color-coded each of them with a color for each of the chakras, each of the 7 chakras. And basically what I'm going to do is pretty self-explanatory. I'm just going to be throwing these down, and whichever colors stick to certain categories, that's the energy that I'm going to be reading and summarizing for your piles. So with this roll, we would see that the crown chakra and the third eye chakra are up in awareness. The throat chakra is in growth, and then we have the sacral and solar plexus in balance. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the piles, and I'm going to be using this for each pile, so I cannot wait. And we will just get started with pile number 1. Alrighty, so what is the energy here in pile number 1? Oh, wow. Wow. So your creativity and your authenticity are something that you want to work on, something that you hold deeply inside of yourself, and you take a lot of pride in it, but I think it is hard for you to actually express yourself freely. And I think with your crown chakra being under obsession, but your throat chakra, third eye chakra, and root chakra being in resistance, and then with your heart chakra being under fear, you know, there's, with specifically the third eye and crown, I think that you might rely a little too heavily on spirit to give you answers from time to time. Like, I don't think you can trust your gut as much as you would like to, and I think that that's something that you want to work on a lot, is confidence. But you second guess yourself, and so you look to spirit a lot of the time. You look for answers and synchronicities and readings, and you watch reading after reading after reading, and even if it's giving you the same answer over and over again, like, you're still like, I don't know. And I don't think that's because you're just like, you want to hear something specific, but I think it's more so there's this discomfort around making changes that you know you need to make, and it feels very uncomfortable. But I always say this, there's no growth in comfort. I think that you're not stuck right now, but you kind of are. Like, you're just in a comfortable spot where, like, this is familiar, this is comfortable, and you're not getting anywhere with that. Like, you're not seeing the progress, and you're like, well, Spirit, why? And Spirit's like, I can tell you the same stuff over and over again, hun, but, like, you're gonna have to make the changes that you know you gotta make. Like, you're aware of the things that bring you pleasure, you're aware of your potential, but you fear trusting your heart. Like, you have an idea of what you want, and I think it's just a matter of grounding those dreams into reality and actually taking the steps needed, even if they're uncomfortable, to, like, get the ball rolling. And that obsession being with the crown chakra, again, I think that's just like you kind of waiting for answers to come to you in ways outside of yourself. So I think this message right here is mainly just about trusting yourself and not waiting on external validation or waiting for somebody to give you the go-ahead before you start doing something. Like, you can just go ahead and do it. You don't have to make sure if it's okay with anybody, and you don't have to feel so restricted. I think that the message here for you is just to, like, question, how is that going to affect me? And then instead of thinking the worst or thinking like, well, what if it goes bad? Think about, what if that's the best decision I ever made? Because chances are 50-50, you know? So there's no reason for you to be like, I know it is scary, and I'm kind of a hypocrite in this sense, because I have been in a very, like, uncomfortably comfortable spot for a long time in terms of my growth and, like, just where I want to be in life. So I think just doing little things that make you uncomfortable, even if it's just, as long as it's something out of the ordinary that you wouldn't normally do, just shake it up, just to give yourself that confidence of saying, yeah, that was uncomfortable and I did that. Like, something that I've been practicing a lot lately is every time that I shower, is just at the end of my shower, I'll rinse myself with, like, the coldest possible water. And usually I'm like, oh, I hate it, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. But if I remind myself, I have to say to myself, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And then my body, like, relaxes, even though it sucks. It's like, no, this is how it's supposed to feel. This is good. And that's one way of, like, just taking that step and getting comfortable with the discomfort. And it's something that you can do on your own. You don't have to do it out in public. You don't have to, you know, feel like you're making a fool of yourself. You don't have to jump head in to discomfort, right? But just little things like that, I think, would help you out a lot. And it would help you feel more confident in your ability to do things that you didn't feel like you could do before. So I actually want to get you a meditation card just to see what you can do to practice not feeling this way. What messages are they meant to hear? Thank you in advance. Okay. So we got 3 cards. First one is write a letter. Sit down and write a letter to yourself. Fill this letter with compliments and self-love about all the positive attributes about yourself. Straight up. Self-love. I will not worry or focus on becoming a better person. Instead, I will focus on being the loving, kind, mindful person that I am. Acceptance. Today will be a good day. Close your eyes and repeat this before you begin each day. There will be difficulties and bumps in the road throughout the day. Accept this and know that you will make it living one day at a time. So lots of stuff about self-love. Like, you have the strength within you. You have that confidence that you're searching for, and you know what you want to do. When it says, I will not worry or focus on becoming a better person, I don't like how that's worded. Because I don't really know why it's worded like that. You should always focus on becoming a better person. Like, there's always room for growth is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you. You're not flawed, and that's what self-love is like, you love yourself regardless. But what we're looking at here shows that, like, you want to grow, you just question yourself a lot of the time. And I think there is definitely room for a lot of compassion because you've endured so much resistance and so much anxiety and fear around things that you're passionate about, things that you want to share with the world, you know? And it's okay that that happened. It's a human reaction. It's not your fault at all by any means. You are worthy of love, self-love, and unconditional love. But I think that there's your own inner dialogue that stunts your growth sometimes because you question your ability to actually go after the things that you want, or you think that you're not worthy maybe of the things that you want in life. But that's not true. You are so worthy, and it's just a matter of believing that and feeling confident in who you are. And it's not going to happen overnight, I promise you that. But like I said, just those little steps, like the shower, and something else that is a little step, but to me seems very uncomfortable to do at first. Just go out into a public setting. It doesn't have to be a really busy public place, and just sit down and close your eyes. Set a timer and close your eyes for 1 minute, and then once you get comfortable with that, go up to 2 minutes, and then go up to 5 minutes, and just see how long you can sit in public with your eyes completely closed, knowing that people are walking by and saying, like, what is she doing? Who cares? Who cares? It's none of their business. And you know what? They're going to walk by, they're going to think that, and they'll never see you again. So once you, like, become aware that nobody's opinion matters and none of this really matters, like, you only live once, but just getting yourself out of that weird, like, comfort zone of, I cannot be perceived by anybody. Like, nobody perceived me. It's really liberating. So just try out little stuff like that. And again, give yourself some compassion and love and understanding and patience, because you're very strong, you're very brave, and I believe in you and I love you. So pile number 1, that is where I'm going to go ahead and leave this. If you enjoyed this reading, please do go ahead and show me some support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And of course, hit that bing bong so that you never miss a new upload from me. With all that being said, I hope that Ava week is beautiful and as radiant as you, and I hope to see you again in the future. Bye! Alrighty, pile number 2. What is the energy present in those here in pile number 2, please? So we have the heart and sacral chakra and throat chakra under obsession, and then the crown chakra under growth. Interesting. So I will explain that as I'm drawing out your aura. Alrighty, so I love this energy for a lot of reasons, and first I just want to say that I am so proud of you. I can tell just by looking at this energy here that, like, you have been working so hard on improving yourself and being your best self, and you've never not wanted to be a better person, and I really love that. I love everything about that, and I respect that. I think you're doing amazing work, and this energy really reminded me of somebody on TV, and if you haven't seen the show, it's okay, but I've been binge watching this show, Couples Therapy, and if you haven't seen it, it's basically exactly what it sounds like. It's real couples getting real therapy from a therapist, and you get to see it all happen in real time. It's really cool, and it's really helpful, I think, because it shows you so many different perspectives. And there was this one lady on there that when she first was shown with her husband, I didn't like her, and I think that that was kind of intentional by whoever did the filming. Like, she comes across as somebody who's very overbearing and somebody who takes the lead in conversations and decisions and stuff like that. She was also a fashion designer, so she was very creative and very driven, and she had so much love in her heart, right? But she came across as somebody who was very forward and almost like aggressive because she just wanted to get her point across, and she felt like her husband wasn't hearing her, and so it was really important to her that she said what she thought needed to be said. But as time goes on and the show continues, like, she's really putting in a lot of hard work to find balance and harmony and understanding in her relationship, and she's learning to be more patient, and it's really beautiful because, like, she wants to learn, she wants to do the work that it takes, and she has this moment of clarity where, like, she doesn't want to fight over stupid stuff, and, like, life is too short and it's not worth arguing over these silly little things. And it makes sense, like, why that's coming up for this energy to me, because I feel like you know that your words hold a lot of weight, and you know that everything that you want to add is reasonable, and you want people to hear you, you want people to understand you, and you want to make sure that you guys are on the same page. And I think that communication in general plays a big role in your relationships, and it's really important to you that you guys understand each other, and you feel like communication is your way of doing that. Like, you're not a read between the lines kind of person. You're like, if you think something, if you feel something, you say it. If something's bothering you, you say it. But I think there are people in your life that don't handle conflicts the same way, or in another sense, like, your communication could have been, what's the word, like, perceived a certain way, or you could have had somebody tell you that the way you're coming across is too assertive or too aggressive, or, like, somebody in the past might have said something and it really stuck with you about just the way that you make yourself and your feelings known. And I don't want you to ever feel ashamed for bringing up your feelings, okay? You should actually be very proud of yourself for having that self-awareness and wanting that harmonious kind of vibe within relationships and connections. It's an amazing thing. And I think that when it comes to these chakras being under the obsessive area, I feel like there's just been something that happened in the past that, and I'm kind of getting like a family member. I feel like there was somebody who was superior to you in terms of, like, power, I guess, that said something about the way that you carry yourself or the way that you express yourself, and it really stuck with you, and you held on to that, and now every time that you communicate your feelings, you backtrack in a way. Like, even if it's just internally, you might think, like, that was too much, I shouldn't have asked for that, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have started an argument over that, like, I'm ruining the day, whatever it may be. It's not ever the case, and I know that you know that. I know that you know that there's nothing wrong with you bringing up your feelings, but there is that little voice in your head that's always like, maybe that was a little too much. And I get that. I absolutely get that. It is okay to say whatever you need to say, to be upset about whatever you want to be upset about. It's not that you want to be upset about it, but it's, like, valid for you to be upset about it. And it's valid to bring it up. Because if it's bothering you, if you don't bring it up, it's just going to linger, and you're going to hold on to all this resentment. And this could also happen a lot in the workplace for you. Maybe not a lot, but you know what I mean. It could have been a pattern in the past, or just a feeling that you aren't allowed to voice your opinions in terms of ideas for the company, or how things are going to get done, the way that things should be delegated. Like, you should be allowed to speak your opinions and your ideas, and realize that you're not powerless just because you're not the boss, right? Like, if you work somewhere, then they hired you for a reason, and your ideas are just as good as anyone else's. You can always add something to the conversation. You can always add insight. You can always throw out ideas and express your creativity. There's nothing wrong with just saying ideas, right? Because, like, I'm personally like this too, where if I have an idea and I think it's a really good idea, I'll question it so many times, and I'll think more about what their response is going to be, and I'll think about all the ways that it wouldn't work, and I'll just end up in analysis paralysis. It's the worst. And so I never end up expressing my ideas. But there's a chance that like if I had just said it, they'd be like, wow, that's a great idea. But no, I was like, they're gonna think that's a stupid idea because it is, and then I'll convince myself it's dumb. But it's not dumb. Like I had it for a reason, so why didn't I just say it? But I think that right now you're in this transitional period where you are seeing the bigger picture and you're realizing like I want to express myself and I have a lot of creativity and I have good intentions. It could be a really good idea. It could change that whole dynamic in the best way possible. But even if it doesn't, there's nothing wrong with voicing your ideas, your opinions, and just letting your creativity flow publicly and not being so afraid to think outside the box and to offer fresh ideas outside of the norm. Make it fun. Like maybe that's what that dynamic needs. But nobody has been brave enough to be the first person to be like, hey, I have this crazy idea and we should do something different. We should do something that you wouldn't expect and like just throw stuff out there just to see what lands, you know? I think that could like really just skyrocket your confidence and your passion for life. And it's not even about having somebody else validate your ideas, but it's just the fact that you voiced your opinion and voiced your ideas and you have the confidence within you and you have good ideas. But I think the confidence will come from voicing those opinions instead of what you're thinking the confidence will come from, which is the finished product being perfect. Oh, I love that. I love that I just said that because I needed to hear that so bad. Okay, I feel like it took a while for us to get there, but we finally did it. That point right there was like the point of this entire reading. So I'm going to try to rephrase it again, just in case it didn't make sense. What you focus on is finding confidence after you've already completed something and then you get feedback on that it's really good. You need that like validation and the approval of others saying, yes, this is really good. But the confidence comes from just getting the idea out there and knowing that it's a good idea and speaking it into existence without fear of what other people are going to think. That's where the confidence comes from, is just doing it, not being a perfectionist about it, just letting your creativity flow and seeing what happens. It's all about taking risks and doing what makes you uncomfortable and just letting that side of you show in a way that you're not ashamed of, you know? Because you already have good ideas and it doesn't have to be perfectly executed for you to know that it's a good idea. So don't wait for somebody else to tell you that they think that it's good for you to feel confident in the fact that it's good. You know, I hope that makes sense. It can be really easy to talk yourself out of situations and talk yourself out of decisions because you're worried, like I said, about what they're going to think more than actually doing it. So I think that you're getting out of that headspace for sure. Who cares what they think? Their perspective is totally different than yours, and why do you trust theirs more than yours? You shouldn't. Because there's always going to be people that don't like what you do, don't like how you act, don't like what you say, don't like how you dress, whatever. There's always going to be people that have an opinion, but guess what? It doesn't matter. None of their opinions matter because only your opinion about you matters, especially when it comes to creativity and emotional and spiritual ideas and concepts. If you're speaking that out into the world, it's not up for someone else to be like, yeah, that's a good idea, or that's right. Like, there is no right way to be creative. It's just supposed to feel good. I hope that all made sense. That was my little rant, and I hope that you guys took something from that. But now we are going to pull cards just to see what comes through and what messages you need to hear right now. So let's get into that. Alrighty, so for this energy, I'm going to be starting with the Mood Crystals Oracle deck. What energy is radiating from the chakras of those here in pile number 2, please? And thank you in advance. What crystal or stone aligns most with their energy right now? Thank you in advance. Okay, we got a bunch here. Oh man, dude. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. Are you okay? Honey. So we have lonely, and that is the crystal epidote. Then we have lazy, that is malachite. Then we have mournful, aquamarine, and angry, which is black tourmaline. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm just gonna say, if there's something in your life that's draining you, you gotta cut it off. And I know that you know this, and I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I know that I can't make you do what's right, because I don't know your situation. So I don't know if cutting it off right now is right for you. But I do feel like you've been trying so hard to feel heard and understood by somebody. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. Just, like, everything's making so much sense now. You are feeling so misunderstood, and it's causing you to feel so lonely, and like you've lost all your energy, it seems like, which sucks, because that's why your chakras are in the obsessive category. Like your passion, your heart, your voice. You're desperate to be heard and seen and understood. But you've been fighting either one person or one situation, multiple people, one energy for so long. You're like, I can't do it anymore. And you feel isolated, and you feel like people don't recognize how capable you are of bringing such pure and good energy to the collective. You're missing that feeling of being needed and wanted and respected and praised for your ideas. Oh my gosh, I did not even consider, like, that it could have been like this. Wow. And it's no wonder, like, you've been questioning yourself and second guessing if you have good ideas or not. Dude, I'm so sorry. And oh my god, I'm not gonna apologize for crying, because, like, this is proof that I'm genuinely tapping into your energy. And this feeling sucks, dude. And I'm so sorry. But it's no wonder that you've been second guessing yourself and questioning your ideas, because it's been so long since you had somebody in your life that just looked at you and said, thank you for sharing your ideas. Like, there has been somebody in your life that's just been breaking you down and isolating you and making you question everything about what you know, everything about your worth. Because you're isolated from other people, you don't have a support system to ground you back into reality and to tell you how much they appreciate you. Dude, oh my god, I was not ready. Okay, I want to get oh jeez. Immediately when I pick up these cards, like, I feel the energy rush away. But, like, that energy was very heavy. On the top of the deck, though, was worthy. Blue-green tourmaline. A lot of blue-green, I've noticed, which is funny because it's not funny, but you know what I mean. The throat chakra and the heart chakra were under obsessive, so those are still coming through.
So now I want to get a card from the Starseed Oracle deck. See what comes through there. What is the energy surrounding them currently? What do they need to know? Any messages or guidance would be greatly appreciated for those here in pile number 2. Thank you so much in advance. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Oh. So the first one is fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. That's beautiful. And then we have deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. Yes. You're being called to release all of these subconscious blockages and hand them over to another source, a higher source, the earth, your guides. Even just writing it down in a journal, you need to get that out of you. And even if you can't remove yourself from that situation physically right now, you need to cut the energetic cord.
So that could look like, picturing what you want your life to look like and seeing a brighter future that doesn't involve whatever this negative energy is that's draining you. Like, write it down in your journal, start manifesting that life, and don't fall into the spiral of like including them, because I feel like you do that often, where you think of something and what you want to do and a decision you want to make or a goal that you have, and you think, well, maybe I can't do that because like it's going to affect them this way. Stop thinking that. If you have a goal, think of yourself meeting that goal. Think of yourself working towards that goal and manifest that life that you know that you deserve, that you've been scared to go after because of this other energy that's been draining you and pulling you down and weighing you down. I also wanted to mention that I was seeing a lot of bat symbolism in your aura, and to me what this means is, you know how bats communicate via echolocation? They use like sounds, and they have that sound bounce off of things so that they know what's around them, right? I feel like you could be this way, but with words. And what's really getting to you is the fact that your words are coming out and you're expecting feedback that'll help you, but it's just bouncing off people like they're walls, and it's not getting through to them. It's not giving you any feedback. Like, you're not gaining anything from it, and you just want people to understand you so bad, and it's not your fault. I just want you to know that it's not at all your fault. And you can try to word things in a certain way however many times. You can get louder, you can get angrier, but unfortunately there are people out there that just love making you feel like your words don't matter, and that sucks, and it's isolating, and you feel like you're stuck in a cave like a bat, and like you don't know what to do because nothing that you say is getting through to anybody. But I just want you to realize that it's not you, and when you realize that it's not about your words or what you're saying that are the problem, it's the person that you're saying it to that's the problem, because they want you to think that those words aren't important. So stop going to them for feedback, stop going to them hoping that, it'll get through to them. But don't stop expressing yourself and getting your thoughts out there. If you need to write it down in a journal just to get it out, do that. If you need to talk to somebody, absolutely please talk to somebody. But just know that if you do go to them for feedback and you try to explain to them how you're feeling and they don't respond the way that you would hope that they would, that's not your fault. But you do deserve a safe place to get out what you're feeling. Especially because now that I see the throat chakra under obsession, you could be questioning everything that you've said because of their reactions, and it'll drive you mad, because if they're the only person that you're trying to get feedback from and they're not giving you anything, it's just bouncing back at you. Like, if you ask them a question, that question's just going to bounce right off of them back onto you. So if you say like, what do you think about this? And they don't give you anything to work with, then now you're like, what do I think about this? And that's maddening because you're trying so hard to connect, but you're just left with more questions. And hey, if you want to vent and you feel like you don't have anybody in your life really that you can talk about this with, please, please, by all means, feel free to send me an email just venting. We don't have to like talk crap back and forth, but like, because I don't know the person really, but feel free, send me an email, you know, and you can let me know if you want me to respond back or not, or just go off in the comments, whatever you want to do. Like, if you feel like this is your safe place, which it absolutely is, by the way, go ahead. Like, don't hold back. Just be raw and real and get out what you gotta get out, because I welcome that 100% here, and you deserve that space. So, with all of that being said, pile number 2, I am praying for you and I'm wishing you the best. And I hope that you enjoyed this reading. And if you did, please go ahead and show me some support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And of course, hit that bing bong so that you never miss a new upload from me. With all that being said, I hope that you have a week as beautiful and as radiant as you, and I hope to see you again in the future. I love you. Bye. Hello, hello, pile number 3. So happy to have you here. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing lovely. So first thing that we're going to do is figure out what energy is going on in your chakras, and then we're going to get into your aura reading, and I'll be drawing cards and just see what energy is going on for you. First thing I do want to mention though is a song was coming through. The song is I Just Died in Your Arms by Cutting Crew. If you don't know that one, that's okay, but it's the one that's like, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. It's an older song. It's really good though. It's a classic. So that song could have some significance to you. I don't even know the rest of the lyrics, but that part just keeps playing in my head, so thought I would go ahead and bring it up. So let's go ahead and see where your chakras are at, and then we will jump into your aura reading. So let's see. What is the energy of those here in pile number 3, please? Thank you in advance. Oh, whoa. Okay, so the root chakra just flew off of the board completely. Then we have the third eye chakra under balance, the solar plexus chakra on fear, and the throat chakra on resistance. So I also want to go ahead and grab you some cards. I made these cards myself. They just have little mantras on them, little bits of advice and info that might help you on your journey. So let's see what you need to know right now. What do the people here in pile number 3 need to hear the most right now? Thank you so much in advance. I'm feeling called to tell you to take a deep breath, to allow yourself to relax a bit. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Sit up straight if you're slouching. Feel good about the moment. Be in the moment. I don't want this reading to just be like noise, right? Like, you're here for a reason. So let's see. These cards are stuck together. So it says, ignorance is bliss, knowledge is power, know when to use both. Then we generate fears while we sit, we overcome them by action. Totally. Let me get you a meditation card really quick. See what comes through there. Oh my god, I just said posture. As the day moves on, we tend to slouch and slowly sink down into that computer chair or couch. Sitting up straight increases blood flow and strengthens your core, as well as reducing tension and stress. Just said that. We got recognize. Today, try to recognize those events that trigger your negative feelings. It's all about how you react. Recognize that you can change the way you react once you identify what's triggering your negative thoughts. So I just want to start by saying that I think it's really crazy and very synchronistic how similar the cards were to the chakra pieces. And I want to explain what energy I was immediately picking up on when I saw the chakra pieces and where they landed. It seems as though you are nervous or fearful of speaking up because you see things from a higher perspective that most people don't. And you can see almost like into the future, because your intuition is so balanced and you trust it and you know what's right and what's wrong. And I feel like you're in this situation right now where you are just seeing masses of people, or it could just be like within a small circle. It doesn't have to be masses of people, but just in the way that the world is right now, a lot of people are making a lot of stupid decisions, and people with higher visions and higher perspectives are able to zoom out and see these things. I don't know if you heard that sound. It was a car that drove by, which, by the way, if you have a loud car, stop. Just stop. I just felt the need to say that. If there is a man in your life, because it's rarely ever women, you send him over to me. I'll tell him. Because that sounded like pew pew. And that's not cool right now. Not cool ever. I don't know who you think you're impressing, but stop. It's a problem. It's literally like midnight here. Stop. Anyway, that was my tangent. I digress. I'm saying that there is a lot of people around you, a lot of people that you're seeing make stupid decisions, and you know what's right and you know what's wrong, but you fear speaking up because you don't want to be isolated, you don't want to be alienated, or you don't want to get any backlash. You don't want people to react in a negative way to your advice or your vision or your ideas, even though you're trying to help these people. They might not see it the way that you do. And that fear alone is stopping you from speaking up. But then you feel guilt so much, like later on, because you didn't say something, and then you just watched all of these people make the wrong decision, and you knew what was going to happen. Like, you knew the consequences, but you didn't say anything because you didn't want there to be any backlash. You didn't want to face that risk of being cast out, I guess. And especially like within the cards that I pulled, it was just verified that that was the energy that was coming through, because looking at the first one that we pulled that said knowledge is power, ignorance is bliss, know when to use both. You are somebody who is very smart, very intelligent, and you have common sense, but your intuition is like off the charts, and you know when to follow it, and you know when you should say something, but you also know when it is safe for you to stay quiet and not speak up about stuff. It's times where you want to speak up and you know when to speak up. That's where you're holding back, and you don't want to hold back. Like, you know in your heart that you need to say something and you want to say something so bad, but like, I don't know if you know how much power you truly hold. And getting back in touch with your soul and what you're passionate about, fighting for certain causes, speaking up when you need to speak up, setting boundaries. I think these are all things that are really going to help you right now. And believe me, I understand the fear and where it's coming from, because I've been like this too, where even though I know in my heart, I know that that situation is not going to benefit anyone in the long run, and I know that people are going to get hurt. I know that people are being misled, and it's unfortunate to watch. I just don't want anything to happen if I just say something, but there's 100% chance that I won't stop it if I don't say anything, if I just stay quiet. There's at least somewhat of a chance if I step up and I say something, because here's the thing is, like, you shouldn't be waiting for somebody to say the opinion first, because there could be people that are waiting for you, you know, and that could never get said because everyone's just waiting and like agreeing with whatever. And that's a lot of how the world is these days. Like, everyone's just so agreeable no matter what the cause is. Like, it could be harmful, but because people are so like inclusive and they don't want to push anyone's buttons, they don't want to stir up any emotions or trigger anybody or get canceled or whatever, however you want to call it, people stay silent because they just don't want to deal with all that drama. And there's not a lot of people stepping up and saying like, no, this is wrong. But maybe there's people that, I mean, I know that there's people that agree with you. They're just waiting for somebody to say, this is a problem. And if it's your opinion, it's your opinion, and you should say it, and you should be proud of it and say it with your chest, because it's important to hear, and it could change lives. Like, it could save people truly. But you just got to be that one person that says, no, this is wrong. I'm not going to go along with all this just so that y'all feel comfortable, just so that y'all accept me and like me. I think that we as a society have strayed too far away from the emotion of shame, and I think we need to bring it back sometimes, you know, because, like, for instance, I don't know if you've seen this trend that is going around people do this thing where it's called like we listen and we don't judge, and it'll be multiple people just talking to a camera, and they'll say we listen and we don't judge, and then they'll admit something that they've done, and usually it's really not a socially okay thing. It's just like people will say like I've been cheating on my boyfriend for how many ever years, or like they'll say to their best friend like I am the reason that your boyfriend broke up with you, and they're just supposed to sit there and not judge them. But no, I think that is horrible, because like yeah, you should be judged and you should get help. I'm not going to let you just spew out all these not okay things and then not judge you. Like shame is healthy in a lot of aspects of life. Like yeah, it feels bad, but it should feel bad. Like you shouldn't feel ashamed of your actions, and if you do, then that's why that shame is there, so that you can redirect your energy and fix yourself, you know? So I think it's okay to shame people. I think that's what you need to do more of. As harsh as that sounds, I think that there's been a lot of energy around you that you don't agree with, and you've been turning a blind eye just for the sake of keeping the peace. But what you're really doing is like just watching someone burn their own house down, and you're just going, well, I didn't want to tell you that your house was on fire because I didn't want you to be upset about it. Like, no, tell them their house is on fire and maybe help them. At least let them know that, you know, the situation is not good. You don't have to sugarcoat as much in situations like this. When you know that you're sugarcoating, especially if someone's like asking you for advice, or you're just like in a situation, maybe with coworkers, it feels kind of like coworkers, or there's someone like younger than you that is doing something that you're just like, that is so stupid. And as adults, like older adults, I get it, because a lot of younger people, especially these days, are very much stupid. I'm sorry, but it's true. And that's just because social media has rotted our brains. And I have this weird like mix of like, I understand both sides. I'm in a weird generation, I guess. But I guess like when you're older, no matter what age or what year it is, you're always gonna think the younger generation is stupid. Maybe that's just me like aging, I don't know. But regardless, what I'm trying to say basically is just don't be afraid to take action, because the longer that you sit and ruminate about what could happen if you don't take action, then you're just going to sit there and generate more and more and more fear, and it's not going to help any situation. Like just taking the action regardless of the fear, that's how you overcome it, like the card said. And also this one's huge. Don't be afraid of hurting people's feelings. Like obviously don't go out of your way to hurt people's feelings. Like don't do it with any malicious intent. I don't think you would, but it's okay to just be truthful with people. And I always say this, that like when they say the truth hurts, it only ever really hurts the people that see truth and constructive criticism as an attack. Like they can't take advice, they can't see their flaws. What they want is to bring something to your attention. They want to be validated by you regardless of how much effort they've put into it. It's like handing you a project that clearly is, pardon my French, half-assed, and they didn't take the time to actually put in any work into it, and you're standing there like, this isn't good. Like that's the truth, is like, I know it's not good because you didn't put any work into it, and it's visible, like I can see that. And they lose their minds instead of accepting the truth and owning up to it, because they just expected you to validate them and appreciate them and be understanding because it's them, and they think that they are higher than the truth, which they're not. And a lot of these people need to learn how to take constructive criticism and take advice, because it's not an attack, and they take everything as an attack, so you can't tell them the truth. And so we as a society are straying so far from the truth, and especially because these same people will make a huge deal out of it and like post about it all online, and it's so annoying. And so the people that are telling the truth are getting more and more afraid of speaking the truth, and it's so irritating because it's this vicious cycle. Anyway, I'm getting out of breath and like sweaty from that because it has me so heated. But bottom line, don't be afraid to hurt people's feelings. Like I said, obviously don't do it with any malicious intent. I don't think that you would, but don't be afraid to hurt people's feelings, because it's not supposed to hurt their feelings. You're just being honest, and if the truth hurts them, that's on them. It's not on you. You're just saying the reality of things, and that's okay. You did nothing wrong. But it's up to them to decide, am I going to accept this truth and actually grow as a human being, or am I just going to take this as an attack and blame the whole rest of the world for my delusion or my lack of effort. So let it be a them problem. And just know that you did what you could. Just don't be afraid to speak up for what you know is right. And with that, I think I'm going to leave that here. I think that was a pretty good reading, honestly. It feels good. I feel better. I think that's what you need to do, is just get out whatever you've been holding back, because it'll help a lot. So pile number 3, I want to thank you again so much for being here. And if you did like this reading, if you want to do me a solid and show me some support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and of course, hit that bing bong so that you never miss a new upload from me. With all that being said, I hope that you have a week as beautiful and as radiant as you, and I hope to see you again in the future. I love you. Bye. Hello, pile number 4. So happy to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope you're doing so lovely today. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to get your chakra energy with this board that I made. Then after that, we are going to be doing your aura reading, where you'll see me drawing out your aura on the screen as I explain the energy that I pick up on. And then I will draw some cards and we will go from there. So what is the energy of the chakras in those here in pile number 4, please? Thank you in advance. Interesting. Okay, so we have the root and the solar plexus on awareness. Then we have the crown on obsession. We have the sacral on fear, and the heart on balance. So what I get from this energy is that you are somebody who knows your worth, and that you know what you want in life, and you have so much love to give. You have such a big heart, such a loving, kind, genuine soul. I do think that you know what you want, but you're afraid to go after it in terms of connection and intimacy and partnership. And I think that there's just this general fear around putting yourself out there and trusting somebody new. And this fear could stem from past relationships or just social media showing you like how bad some people out there can be and how weird the dating pool is right now. And even if it's not romantic, it could be totally platonic, but you're just scared of like trusting people again. And that's honestly really valid, because it's hard to just open up to people, especially like if you have past trauma and you've trusted a lot of people. You've been betrayed before a lot in the past, because betrayal trauma is a very real thing. And if you have experienced that, I'm so sorry. But I'm just letting you know. Did you hear that? How could you not have heard that? I think everybody within a freaking 10-mile radius heard that. Stop. I said this in the last reading. If you have a loud car, just stop, okay? I'm just gonna leave it at that. Anyway, the dating pool is crazy. But if you're looking for like just genuine connections with people, it's hard to trust right now. And it's also just like exhausting explaining yourself completely to somebody new and having them react to it, because you never know how they're going to react. And it's hard to just like go through the motions of like meeting somebody and figuring out who they are, and then it's going to take a while for you to decide like if you actually like them, and it's going to be awkward at first, and then you're like, I just want to be at the point where we have inside jokes and we're comfortable with each other and we don't judge each other. Like, I feel like you used to have a best friend and you guys were like that, or this could be a partner, but then you guys went your separate ways for whatever reason, because they probably did something that broke your trust and you just haven't been able to connect with anybody else that way. And that sucks. Like, that hurts so bad. And if that is the case, I'm so sorry. I do understand that, though. I do want to also say that part of me thinks that you might be relying on tarot readers or psychic readers to kind of tell you what your future is going to be like with this partner. Like, what is their name? What do they look like? What would your guys' life be like together? Where are you going to live? Where do they live? And all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about, because there's readings that say that they're going to tell you that. But and those are fun to watch for sure, but I think in moderation they're okay, right? And for a minute that can like soothe your fear of meeting new people, and it can give you hope that you're going to find somebody that matches what you're looking for. But you won't get the outcome that you're hoping for unless the equation that you write out adds up to that sum. Do you know what I mean? Just like doing simple things like going out and trying to meet people in like a group setting, or take classes or volunteer. All of those things can help you meet the right people, because at least you have one thing in common, like you both wanted to go there, and that's a good starting spot, I think. Just getting yourself out there and not hyper focusing on what could go wrong. And I think on top of that, meeting people in a setting that isn't just one-on-one, It feels a lot safer. It feels a lot more natural. And there's more to talk about. It's not just like I'm stuck with this one person and they're focused on me and I'm focused on them. It's like there's other people to talk to. There's things to do. It's a good time. Like I don't have to just focus on this one person. And I will say that like aside from that fear, you have a really balanced aura. Like you seem like somebody, like I said, who is very self-aware and is very sure of themselves, sure of what they want. And it's really not too much about being imbalanced in any way. It's just this fear that other people are going to hurt you or harm you or betray you. And that's just a pattern learned from past betrayal, which is understandable. But it's just about working through that fear in order to get yourself to the point of like, okay, I'm comfortable with meeting people. I'm not worried too much about like how I come across, but it's about what other people are going to do to me. And that's, like I said, that's just a pattern that you learned, and it's just going to be about getting comfortable again with meeting new people and trusting and opening up, which is going to take some time. But okay, the funny thing that's happening right now is that I did tell you that I think that you're relying a little too heavily on tarot readers to like tell you about this connection, and I'm really torn right now because I'm fighting within myself these downloads that I'm getting that's literally pretty much about the future connection. And I don't know if I should say them. I'm gonna say them. I already brought it up, so since you're here, might as well just tell you. Okay, so let me see. The names that are coming through. Okay, first of all, I feel like this partner, this friend, like you guys are gonna laugh so much together. You're gonna think everything is so hilarious. You're gonna have so many inside jokes. And you could like send each other memes a lot back and forth, which is going to be so great. I love that for you. The names that are coming through are Evan, Jacqueline, and Marzia. Really pretty name. I think it's Italian. Italian stuff is coming through like really strong because I keep seeing like Italian food, ravioli, lasagna, breadsticks. I keep hearing like oregano. So maybe you guys will like meet at an Italian restaurant. Maybe your first hangout sesh or date will be at an Italian restaurant. I don't know. I'm hearing like pet names, not like cutie sweetie. I'm hearing like actual pet names, like if they have a cat or a dog or you have a cat or a dog or whatever pet. I'm hearing the names like they're food related. Like you could have a pet that is named after a food, like peach or mango, marshmallow, noodles. Let me see. Olive Garden? Maybe? Not that that's the pet's name, but like that could be the Italian restaurant. Please don't name your pet Olive Garden, but if you do, let me know because that's hilarious. You could, okay, this is really specific. I looked up though the meaning of the name Marzia, and it says that it's short for Marcus. And if you guys know anything about the meme, it's mostly on TikTok. Marcus the Worm. If you don't know about it, it's fine. You don't have to look it up. It's so brain rot stupid. I think it's absolutely hilarious, but you guys might bond over that. I just think you guys are going to have so much fun together and you're going to get each other right off the bat. But yeah, I think that this aura is like really balanced and really beautiful. Your energy is absolutely gorgeous. I'm also getting Virgo energy, Scorpio energy, and just Mars or like Mars Libra energy. So that's interesting. My dog just started barking, so way to go, Olive Garden. Just kidding. His name's Loki. Alrighty, so now what I want to do is I want to get you a few cards. We're just going to start with this deck that I personally made. Just has a few little mantras on it and some pieces of advice. So, what does pile 4 need to know? Thank you so much in advance. What messages are here for those here in pile number 4, please? Oop. Let's get one more. Oh, jeez, okay. So, we have find beauty in chaos. If you can't find it, be it. Totally. I believe. Okay. Yes, you're on their mind. Okay. I'm over here like saying like you don't need a love reading. Like stop watching love readings, and it just turns into one. Like Oh my gosh, make space in your life for new energy, new people, and new opportunities. Well, okay, and then at the bottom of the deck, or top of the deck, whatever, great things never come from comfort zones. This is such a love story. It's really cute. And I'm hearing that song by Blink 182, Miss You. Hello there, the angel from my nightmare, the shadow in the background of the morgue, the unsuspecting victim of darkness in the valley. We can live like Jack and Sally if we want, where you can always find me. And we'll have Halloween on Christmas, and at the night we'll wish this never ends. We'll wish this never ends. This is such a cute energy. Your aura is very cute, but it's also like kind of dark and mysterious. I get Scorpio energy for sure, like Virgo moon, and then like an air Mars, like Libra or Aquarius. Also some Gemini. I don't know, but it's very cute and I really like it a lot. So last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get you a meditation card, and then I will leave that here. I just want to, while I'm doing this and shuffling, I just want to thank you guys so much for being here and supporting me. It really helps me out if you like the video and, you know, share with all your friends. And if you want a personal reading, please feel free to reach out. I finished all of my personal readings that I need to do, and so my list is completely open. And I offer more than just readings. I have a whole website that I will make sure to post down in the description that you can check out, and then just send me an email. So this says, check your pace. Are you reaching through tasks at home or work? Are you racing through tasks at home or work? This will only create stress. Stop, check your pace, take a deep breath, prioritize, and begin again. Totally. I think, yeah, checking your pace in terms of anything, like, don't rush. Don't rush to find the perfect connection. It's gonna take some time. And I just heard that song by Jimmy Eat World. It just takes some time, little girl. You're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright. Yeah, totally. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything will be alright. If you're one of those people that is like, I'm so lonely, but you like try to meet people online and you start talking to somebody and then you're like, you just kind of ghost them or stop talking to them because you're like, this isn't what I wanted. This isn't like a best friendship immediately. Because I've been there and I'm kind of that person, unfortunately. Because it feels uncomfortable and it sucks, but like, that's the only way that you're going to actually really get to know somebody and let them get to know you. So just let it take its course, and you know, it's going to take time, but I promise it'll be worth it in the end. Like, you're gonna find somebody that will be your best friend, romantic or platonic, doesn't matter. Just whatever you're looking for in life. And if you can't find it, be it. Be your own best friend. Be the love of your life. It's okay to do that. But also make the space in your life for new energy, new people, and new opportunities. Like, if there's somebody in your life that is taking up all your energy, taking up all your time, and just draining you, like, you need to cut them out. Like, you can't invite new things into your life until you make space for it. So I think that's a good place to start. I also just saw 555 on the clock. So thank you so much for being here. And if you did enjoy this reading, make sure to show me some support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And of course, hit that bing bong so that you never miss a new upload from me. With all that being said, I hope that you have a week as beautiful and as radiant as you, and I hope to see you again in the future. I love you. Bye.